Hello, my name is Martin Tully and I'm a sales engineer here at Portnox. And today what I want to do is show how you can create a wired profile inside Microsoft Intune. So there is a document already out here called Portnox Cloud Intune Wired Network. This is available on the support portal. So some of the prerequisites that need to be done are highlighted here. So in terms of downloading or enabling the SCEP service inside your tenant, as well as downloading your trusted root certificate. So we talk about all that and all those steps that need to be done here in this document. I'll also create a video later on how to do this. But if I scroll down here to the bottom, as we start to get into that wired network piece, the one thing that we're going to focus on is this certificate server name. So as you know, recently we made a change on the Radius certificate. So I'm going to show you how we're going to update this instead of using the clear-rad .portnox.com. So to do that, one thing that you need to do is go into settings, under services, go to settings, go to your Clear Radius service, and you need to download a root certificate. Let me turn on the highlighter here. So download that root certificate. So when you click on it, what you see here is I have a root certificate .cer, and so that's what we're going to use to populate that field. So I've already downloaded that already. So I'm going to go into my Microsoft Intune. You can see here the configuration profiles I have for Windows. So I have a clear root CA. Um, I have a SCEP certificate. I have a DigiCert G4, which is the one that we're going to create. And currently I also have a Wi-Fi, but I do not have a wired profile. Um, and so you can see here the root CA would be the one that we sort of highlighted in the beginning of that document. And then we're going to be creating this DigiCert G4. So to do that, I'm going to say create a profile. I'll select Windows 10 later. I'll select templates. And from within here, really what we want to find is a trusted certificate. So I'll click on that, click create. And you can call this whatever you want, but I'll call this Portnox Radius Cert. And I'll hit next. So this is fine, computer certificate store. And we'll click on this piece here, click the downloads, and here is that root certificate CER, hit open, hit next, right? Again, you would select the groups that you're going to be assigning the certificate to, hit next. If there is any rules that you're going to put in, again, this would be up to your organization, you can put that in. And once I'm done here, I can just hit create, and you'll see here that I now have a Portnox Radius certificate, right? So I have that there. So now we'll create another profile. Let's create a wired profile. Again, Windows 10 or later, we'll go to templates, and I believe it is under wired. So there is a wired network here. We'll select that, hit create. Again, give it a name. So we'll create wired and authentication mode. So again, here is you have some options. Again, we do discuss those over here on which ones to select, whether you want to do user, right, or computer. That's going to be up to you. So that's what you would set up here, right? So let's say you said user, don't need to do that. Authentication period, I'm not going to configure that. We're not going to enforce 802.1x from within here. And then here the EAP type, it is EAP TLS, right? And then down here is the certificate server name, so that's server trust. So from here, what we'll do is we are going to select one or more certificate profiles. I will click on that, and you can see here, I have that Portnox Radius cert that I selected. I'll hit OK, right? And then I have authentication method. We will say SCEP in this particular case. We have that SCEP profile that we created, and basically select that and you're good to go, right? So we have user. This is, again, this authentication mode was created in our SCEP profile that we did. So that's what we're going to do there. We're not enforcing 802.1x. We are doing EAP-TLS. We are using the Radius certificate that we downloaded, and we're using that as our server trust. And then, of course, we have authentication method is SCEP, and create a SCEP profile, hit next. Again, here, this is where you would select your groups, any type of applicability rules, and hit next, and then hit create. And then you should see here in a little bit that I have my wired config here.